The activists gave the JSE CEO a chilly reception today. During an address, Nicky Newton-King was frequently booed during her short address to the crowd. The protesters vowed to camp outside the JSE until they receive a more favourable response. The Call for Action civil society group wants the JSE and big business to fund their fight. The business hub of Sandton, north of Johannesburg, was brought to a standstill today.
I think it's important to note that within the fight against gender-based violence and femicide, we've seen that there's been an uncomfortable silence from corporate and the private sector. Today we've come and said, private sector, the president has said on several occasions that there is not enough money to fund the fight against gender-based violence and femicide. And we're saying, we're coming here, we're showing you where the money's at. And this is why the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was the most ideal place.
What do we want? We want these people to fund the fight. We want them to fund the fight against gender-based violence.
The them is the JSE and big business. Against the backdrop of gender-based violence in the country, activists have come together to fight against gender-based violence, rape and femicide. To this end, thousands marched on the JSE. They want big business to fund the fight against gender-based violence. The JSE CEO accepted the memorandum.
I've been very clear about the fact that we have heard you. I've heard very loudly your request for funding. This is an issue that we will discuss with your leaders in the next couple of days.
A response that failed to settle the rest of the crowd. They have vowed to continue their protest outside the JSE. Traffic in and around Sandton was not affected. Most motorists stayed clear of the area. Routes in and around the JSE precinct were closed off.
It's actually not a usual picture in Sandton this morning. As we were driving through, Crescent Drive is free-flowing, and usually in the morning it's very congested. So I think people have taken heed to the message and they are using alternative routes to get around Sandton.
A little later, a splinter group tried to disrupt traffic blocking off Rivonia Road. Police acted swiftly to defuse the situation. The crowd remains outside the JSE.